Good evening, everybody. My name's Vecwolf, but you can call me John. And I just watched a good old movie in that was released in 2016 called Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice. And I specifically watched the Ultimate Edition, the rated R version. And it was long, 3 hours. It's a 3 hour movie. And oh my god, you ever go to like an Easter party or whatever the hell it's called these days, and you just like collect Easter baskets and you just put them all in your basket, but you get too many Easter eggs to a point where you can't put them all in the basket, and so they just keep overflowing. But you want more in there, and that's kind of what this movie is. Like you, or like you're at Thanksgiving and you just like your grandma made some goddamn good mashed potatoes or whatever the hell, and you're just eating, but you want to keep eating, but you can't keep eating, but you want to keep eating because it's so good, and you only get this once a year. He's like, yo, I want more. Give me more. Give me more. This is what this movie's about. Now, I want to do a quick disclaimer. This movie is not bad. It's not a bad movie. It's just a bad comic book movie because comic books, of course, I don't know why I have to explain this, but it's like you have lore, you have storylines to go off of, so it shouldn't be that hard to like, oh yeah, like take a storyline and put it as your movie. But they chose 16 storylines and put them in one movie, so yeah. Anyway, but overall, this is not a bad movie. It's just a very stuffed, overpacked comic book movie that really doesn't do a lot via action. But whatever. This will be a spoiler review about the movie, so let's get into it. So the movie starts off with Lois Lane going to the middle of the desert to talk to a general. Okay, whatever, cool. She wants to talk to a general. She's a journalist. That's fine. She ends up getting captured, and Superman comes to save the day. But he was framed because there's also some Russian soldiers that killed everybody in that African village. And, it's like, oh no, Superman, oh no, he killed everybody. Well, that's a shame. Oh no. I don't know why. Okay. Whatever. It's just, okay, anyway, so Superman is gonna, that's kind of what his whole goal is, especially with Lois Lane. They're trying to solve why was Superman framed. I guess like it's a good point. Why was Superman framed? And of course, this is taken after the events of not exactly the after the events, but 2 years after Man of Steel. So there's still a lot of dilemma with Superman. And there was this one guy named Wally, Walter. His name is Wally. He's now paralyzed, and he's upset with Superman. That's a key point right there. Whatever. Anyway, so Superman wants to also solve the Gotham Batman situation because no one's talking about that. And during at this time, Batman's being a little pissy bat, and he's not killing people, but he's branding people and pretty much getting them killed in prison. Batman's pretty much the judge, jury, executioner that everyone keeps, pointing as in this movie. And so that's what Clark Kent does, and, that's kind of it. Lois Lane will then, continue to try to prove his innocence, and does, but doesn't get that out there because the whole final fight. That's kind of Superman and Lois's thing, and now let's move on to Batman. Batman, who is another supposedly main character in this movie, he's not a main character at all, actually. Batman is like an anti-hero who is not needed in this movie. So pretty much, it's very simple. Batman doesn't like Superman. He's too dangerous. Okay, that's fair. He wants to kill Superman because he's dangerous. That's also fair. That makes sense. But that's it. And then in the final fight, it gets resolved like an instant because his mom. Okay, everyone knows this whole thing. Batman's parents died in this movie because it's a Batman origin movie, whatever technically. And his father said Martha. His mom's name is Martha, and so the whole final fight is it's shit. It's complete shit. Anyway, but I'll get into that once I continue here. But anyway, that's Batman's whole purpose in this movie, just wanting to kill Superman. And that's like, okay, that's fair, but give him something else to do. And yes, as Bruce Wayne, he goes like Lex Luthor's house because they're just having a party. He steals data. Like, okay, he's trying to find what Luthor has. And yeah, fuck, I'm so much stuff in here. God damn it. Okay. He wants to find what Luthor has, but then Diana, Wonder Woman, steals his information, then gives it back to him. And Batman's like, oh, this is you? You wanted information because Luthor knows who you are and you're Wonder Woman. So that this is you? That's cool. Whatever, that comes later. Okay, now Luthor. There's so much shit in this movie. Now Luthor, he wants to... His plan is so weird. Like, when I mean weird, I mean it's completely stupid. Like, it makes no sense. So Luthor, what he wants to do is he wants to figure out Batman's identity, Superman's identity, everyone who's related to Superman, and then he wants to find the world engine in India, then gets the kryptonite rock, gets in touch with some government officials to get a licensing or whatever to bring it over to Metropolis so he can then study it, make some weapons out of it to kill Superman. Okay, makes sense. But then he also wants Batman to steal that kryptonite rock so he can make weapons out of it so he can go kill Superman. So when Lex Luthor kidnaps Superman's mom and then kidnaps Lois, threatens her life, Superman comes, he's like, okay, I want you to go kill Batman and then I'll give your mom back. But it's like, how the fuck does this even work? What? I don't know. How do you come up with a plan like this and it not actually it can fail so easily. Fails so easily. And I don't understand. There's so many things in this movie that don't get explained and how Luthor's plan was even like how it actually happened. There's no villain monologue, so we didn't even get like a backstory, like, oh, I did this because of this and how I knew it was gonna work because of this. And cool. And also, yeah, Lex Luthor in this movie is it's like Mickey Mouse because it's played by Jesse Eisenberg. Like, okay, and he makes little high pitched noises. Woo. Whatever. So yeah, so then the whole fight happens with Superman and Batman, which, oh yes, the Batman v Superman, the fucking title. And it's like, it's 2.5 hours later, we're finally getting this fight. And the fight pretty much could have been resolved in like 2 minutes, more like 2 seconds. Superman, all he had to do was just come down like, okay, Bruce, I need your help. My mom's gonna die. Help me. That's it. If he said that, this movie would have been done so easily. But no, instead he does this. He lands, and he's like, Bruce, I need your help, Bruce. Please, Bruce, listen to me. Bruce, I need your help. Bruce, please. Please, Bruce, I need your help. Like, spit it out already. Like, oh my gosh. And then they fight and almost kills Superman, but Batman almost kills him. And then Lois comes out of nowhere, is like, don't kill him, please! And because the classic thing, you're letting him kill Martha! No, Martha! And then Batman goes like, why did you say that name? That's where this whole, the feud between Batman and the fucking title is called Batman v Superman. It's a versus movie. And it gets resolved by your mom having the same name. So I just picture like Batman's like, oh, so this guy has parents and he has a mom and same name as me, is my mom. So everything I thought about this dude is out the window. He's a good guy now. And also like the previous scene before this, he was talking to Superman like, oh, I bet your parents taught you this and blah blah blah. Like, so okay, the writing in this movie is pretty shit. It's pretty fucking bad. Like, for example, there's like a couple things when Superman's mom was kidnapped and like Batman saves her. Batman says like, oh, don't worry, I'm a friend of your son's. And she's like, oh yeah, no, I know that because you have a cape. Like, what the fuck was that, huh? Batman is first of all not friends with Superman. He just tried to kill him and hates him, but it's same mom name. Does that means you're automatically buddies now? Shit, like okay, that's how you make friends now. Cool. I should have like 9 friends by this point, but no, it's like that's not how this works. What happens? I I don't know. This movie was dumb in the dialogue, but and then overall, it's like okay. So Lex Luthor's upset, like, oh, you didn't kill Batman. Fine. You're gonna fight this thing. Its name's Doomsday. Go fight this thing. It's a big CGI gray blob that I made from my blood and General Zod's body. Go fight that thing. And then they fight it. Wonder Woman comes out of nowhere. It's like, I'll help. And they kill it, but then Superman dies. So that's where it ends. And after like a 15-minute ending of Batman and they bury Superman. Fuck, I'm confused now. They bury Superman, and then Batman tells Wonder Woman, like, we gotta find the other people. We gotta find them. And also, this movie sets up Justice League. This movie does a lot. Okay. I think that's the best way to tell the plot. It's not that hard to figure out the plot. It's Batman v Superman. Batman hates Superman. Superman tries to figure out Batman, stop him from being a bad guy. And then they fight, but then they have to fight a gray monster. So it's not that hard to figure out, I don't think. But I tried my best to explain it, but this movie's jam-packed of shit. So first of all, into the criticism of the movie. This movie, like, let's list down everything it has. Number 1, this is a Superman sequel. This is Superman Man of Steel 2. That's the first list right there. It's like, we're exploring Superman, his current problems. He's got to show the world, like, what do I do? Like, I need to tell them, like, I'm not a threat, but they're trying to get me. Like, okay, like, that is good. That's a good thing right there. We have Lex Luthor. You have all you need to make a sequel to Man of Steel, which I think should have been done. Then you have the origins of Batman. They toss in his origin story, and you're trying to build Batman as a character, but again, cut him out of this movie. You cut out Batman, it stays the same. So, cool. That's 2 different plots right there. Then you have the Batman v Superman plot, which of course can be its own plot. But they decided to get all 3 of these ideas and shove them in one movie. 3 different movies and into one. And right away, you kind of linger away. Oh, no, hold on. You linger away 100% from the Batman origin and from the Batman v Superman plots. And then you kind of take like 10% of that and you put that into the Superman movie, which it should have just been all separate movies, for crying out loud. But whatever. Cool. And then you introduce Doomsday, which I know it's a versus movie. You have to introduce like another villain because technically you can't kill one of your big names off, but they do anyway, so that's bullshit right there. But it's like, okay, so we have Doomsday, which again, Doomsday is a big character in Superman's roster list. I have a big Superman comic, and the first comic in there is Doomsday. Doomsday is the villain, Superman and the Justice Society, they fight Doomsday. Why couldn't Zack Snyder and Warner Brothers just see, like, Doomsday could easily be a Justice League villain? Like, it has the potential to be. Like, for example, if the Avengers, like, yeah, Loki was the Avengers villain. And that was because of Thor. So why couldn't they have, like, a third Man of Steel movie and been like, okay, in this third movie, Doomsday will be there, or maybe they'll set up Doomsday and then he will be the villain for the first Justice League movie. Again, it's like that would have been cool, or that could have been the third movie for Man of Steel, but either way, Doomsday could be its own separate plot. Like, that could be its own different movie with Superman or Justice League. It's good enough for that, but no. This movie, yeah, it needs this movie. So, okay, whatever, cool, that's fair. Then, of course, they do the death of Superman, which is a big story plot. Like, I didn't get to that point in my Superman comic yet, but I know the death of Superman is a huge fucking plot in Superman's story. and they decided to put it in the second DCEU movie, in their second thing. When it's not deserving. I didn't care about Superman's death. I didn't care. Like, I just simply didn't care. It was not worth it. And of course, they end the movie with showing him like, oh, teaser, he's gonna come back. Like, yeah, I know that. Like, I know. So it's just like, okay, cool. They waste the death of Superman just because Zack Snyder wanted to do it or whatever. And that could have been like, see, like the third movie, Man of Steel or something, or maybe the first Justice League movie, but like years ahead, like away from whatever. No, they wasted it here. And then you have two other things which are minor plot details, but they try to set up a lot with it. Now, since this movie has so much in it, they also try to shove in Justice League and Darkseid into it. So, in the end of the movie where you see Lex Luthor, he's in a pool, and he sees Steppenwolf, the mother box, is obviously setting up Darkseid. Like, oh shit, if you know that leads into Darkseid, you like, oh yeah, like, oh, that's Darkseid, yeah, baby, cool. But then you also set up the Justice League, which Batman sends an email to Wonder Woman about the other members. He sends a fucking email. I don't get it anymore. He sends an email to him, like, okay, oh, sorry, to her. That's how they set it up, but they also go through, like, they click on, she goes and clicks on emails, like, ooh, look at that, ooh, look at this, ooh, look at that. It's like, it's just showing off their, not their origins, but like showing them off, like, oh, look at their powers, they have this. Oh, look at Cyborg, he's got this. Oh, he's getting created by a mother box. So they show off Cyborg, Flash, and Aquaman. Cool. Like, that could have been, they could have been origin movies. Like, again, this universe was so fucked, but I don't know why. But Warner Brothers wanted to rush this movie, and they're like, Snyder, come on, can you do this for us, please? Please do this for us. Like, whatever. Okay, that's the whole plot of that. Like, 4 different plots right there that could have been its own movie, and then you have these 2 things that are just shoved in there because they need to set up the next movie, which the next movie is going to be Suicide Squad. But then like whatever, that doesn't really matter. But it's like the next one be Justice League. Like, oh shit, Justice League. Okay, cool. It's too much in one movie, and it's just irritating to watch because you want to see it be awesome. Like, I wanted to fucking enjoy this universe, but no. Let's rush it. Cool. Another, like, okay, so then of course, like, Man of Steel, because Zack Snyder is directing this. This movie is so dark. I hate when superhero movies do this. They desaturate the costumes. They make the movie so fucking dark you can't see anything in it. Wonder Woman's costume was so dirty and brown. And I love, and especially in her movie, it's gold, it's blue, it's red, it's beautiful, it stands out, especially in like the whole war setting. This one, nah, it's gonna be dirty. It's just darker. Batman's costume is fucking black. Like, it is black. You can't see, it's jet black. You can't see that suit. You can't not. And then Superman's suit is so dark, like, I thought the entire movie was like, is he wearing a black suit? And then there would be like these sliver of light showing onto his suit, like, it's blue. Oh, I thought it was black the entire time because I can't see the damn suit. It's too damn dark. I hate this universe because it's so dark. Like, you can't enjoy anything. There's nothing to enjoy besides the darkness of it. Darkness. Whatever. And then I'm trying to figure out the next. What the fuck was I about to say? Oopsies. Oh, okay. There's also another scene. Oh yeah, there's the nightmare scene, which sets up the future of, Justice League and everything like that. But before I go into that, there was also this whole thing in Batman's origin. Of course, this was a Batman origin movie as well to set up him in the universe, whatever. But it's like they kept hinting to all of these different Batman elements in there. For example, like this scene right here, ha ha ha, the joke's on you, Batman. It's like, obviously there's a Joker in this universe. You do see that in whatchamacallit, Suicide Squad. So like they're setting up. They say like, oh, Joker's in this universe. Oh, and then Batman's like, I have some friends in Arkham, which we're sending you to. Like, oh, Arkham is in here. Cool. Batman also does like another things like he was talking to Clark Kent and he was like, we've seen our fair share of monsters dressed up as clowns, and I'm like, that's awesome. Can I see that though? Like they're not showing you anything, which I just wish that they properly did the movies well, and it's just like, whatever. They chose to do this, and it's fucking stupid. Finally, the whole nightmare scene, which if this clip I just showed before this transitioning to the title card, there was a little bit of the nightmare scene in there from the trailer, which is like a whole dream sequence when Batman was, setting up, like downloading some files, like just sleeping, whatever. He had a whole dream of a nightmare where Superman is in control, Parademons are here, he's got his own army, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, okay, that's cool. And then Flash comes out of nowhere. It's like, save us, Bruce. Lois is the key. It's like, again, this is more Justice League setting up even further down the line, which is like Zack Snyder. I feel like he's one of those people where he is so excited for this movie. Like, I can't wait to continue. But fuck this movie. I want to get to this. I need to get to this. I don't care about that. Let's shove all this shit in here and let's just quickly get there. It's like you're not breathing room. There's a reason why Infinity War and Endgame were so loved and so exciting. It's because they spent fucking years dissecting, going through it. I don't know why, but Warner Brothers and Zack Snyder thought they can just do it instantly. Like, okay, fine. And it failed, and so here we are rebooting the whole thing. But overall, it's like this movie wasn't bad, but it was a terrible comic book movie. It's just got too much stuff in there. It's too dark. It's not like in violence. I'm fine with that, but it's like the movie is dark. Like, you can't see shit. But also, speaking of violence, yeah, Batman kills people in this universe, so it's like, alright, cool. So, anyway, it's overall the whole point is this movie's, it's too much. It fills you up too much. It's too much in there. Now, there's also, so overall, I was gonna say something else, but I'll save it. I'll save it for another video. Anyway, let's sit down to the dinner table, get your knives and forks ready, and let's get ready. This movie is gonna get a 6 out of 10 chicken burgers out of 10. And it's not a bad movie. Like I said, as a movie, it's not bad, but as a comic book movie, it's too much. And it fills you up, but it leaves you too full. Like, you feel sick. Like, ugh, I'm gonna die. And you want to take a good old nap. But, like, this nap, you don't want to take the nap because you feel sick. But you want to take the nap because you feel sick. But you can't because you feel sick. So, you see, you know what I mean. Anyway, but that's the perfect way to put it. Too much, it looks delicious. You eat it, but it's too much. And then you feel sick. So, yes. And yeah, that's pretty much what this movie is. But also, yeah, hold on. This movie had the best soundtrack of all time. Like, hold on, look at this. Like, you gotta admit, that's fucking cool. Oh my god. To see those scenes with Batman or Superman, whatever, and they just like, they're doing cool ass things, and soundtrack is so beautiful. Hans Zimmer, truly one of the best composers of all time. Anyway, that's all I have for you tonight. Goodbye.